All right, so let's dive into a world that honestly never gets old.
Yeah.
Unsolved mysteries, right?
Right.
Those cases that just make you go,
Absolutely.
wait, what?
Yeah.
And leave you kind of like itching for those answers.
Mhm.
It's amazing to me how even with all the technology we have today, like all the forensics and stuff,
Right.
some things just stay stubbornly secret.
Well, it's a testament to human nature, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That need to understand
Mm-hmm.
the drive for justice
Yeah.
and maybe just a little bit of that what if thrill
Oh, for sure.
all wrapped up into one.
Exactly. And for decades, one show really brought those mysteries to life. I mean, unsolved mysteries. The,
That's class.
chilling music, Robert Stack's voice.
Oh, yeah.
It hooked everyone back in '87.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Netflix reboot brought it to a whole new crowd.
A whole new generation.
But you've given us a stack of sources that goes
That's even deeper.
even deeper, yeah, from specific case details to like global oddities.
Yeah, we've got it all.
We're talking Wikipedia articles like the works.
Yeah.
Ready to unpack this.
Let's get into it.
Okay, first stop. The one that always sends chills down my spine. The Dyatlov Pass incident.
Oh, yeah.
1959 Ural Mountains. 9 experienced hikers found dead.
Dead.
But not just dead, dead
But-
under the weirdest circumstances.
And that's what makes the unsolved part really, really tricky.
Oh, yeah.
You've got evidence, but it contradicts itself.
Right.
So you're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly difficult, decades later.
Okay, so picture this, right? Their tent ripped open from the inside.
Oh, wow.
Like they fled in a panic.
Yeah.
Bodies scattered, some barely dressed for the freezing weather.
Right.
You would think hypothermia.
Ideally, yeah.
But then you add in blunt force trauma on some burns on others.
Right.
And one hiker even missing their tongue.
It's not a neat picture.
No, it's not a neat picture at all.
And then on top of that, you throw in the curveball of some of the clothing, testing positive for radioactivity. So trying to separate facts from the wild theories that pop up in a case like this is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
It becomes a breeding ground for speculation.
And boy, did the theories run wild.
Absolutely.
KGB Yeti attacks.
Yeah.
Even this idea of infrasound,
Yeah.
which for our listeners who aren't familiar, that's basically wind creating a sound
Uh-huh.
so low it can trigger panic and terror.
Like a deep resonance.
Yeah, spooky stuff.
Yeah.
But even with all that, no definitive answer. It
Yeah.
really makes you wonder what could create such a chaotic scene
Mm-hmm.
with no witnesses left to tell the tale.
It highlights, I think, how much context matters.
Yeah.
We're looking back at 1959 Cold War tensions, limited forensic tools back then.
Right.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces in a blurry picture to go by.
Totally. All right, trading snow for the open sea.
Okay.
Our next one is the ultimate ghost ship tale.
Here we go.
The Mary Celeste, 1872.
Yeah.
This American merchant ship is just bobbing along in the Atlantic. Crew vanished, but everything else is in place.
It's pristine.
Like a perfectly set dinner table with no guests.
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason.
Right.
I mean, Mary Celeste isn't unique in terms of, a ship being found adrift.
Mm-hmm.
But the lack of any struggle, the lifeboat missing,
Right.
it throws a wrench in the typical mutiny or piracy explanation you would jump to right away.
Exactly. The last log entry was totally normal.
Mhm.
Supplies, were there no signs of a fight?
Right.
It's not like everyone just decided to go for a swim.
Right.
So naturally, people have come up with some pretty wild ideas.
Of course.
Sea monsters, of course, always pop up.
You gotta have sea monster.
But then there's that alcohol fumes theory.
Which, while it sounds strange, actually speaks to the realities of maritime trade back then.
Yeah.
Ships carried all sorts of volatile cargo.
Right.
Now the lack of fire damage makes that theory shaky,
Uh-huh.
but it does push us to think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what were the dangers these sailors faced that we might not even consider today?
Makes you realize that being lost at sea back then wasn't just about storms.
Yeah.
It was a whole different level of risk.
Absolutely.
So you've got a ship seemingly abandoned on purpose.
Right.
But why?
A big question.
What could be so terrifying that you'd rather take your chances in a small boat
Right.
on the open ocean?
On a tiny little lifeboat.
It's a question with no easy answers.
And that ambiguity is what fuels these stories.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It lets our imaginations fill in the blanks.
Speaking of filling in the blanks,
Okay.
let's move on to a case that spawned a whole genre of copycats.
Oh, yeah.
D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper.
This guy, in 1971, managed to hijack a plane, get $200,000 in ransom, and then just jump out mid-flight. never to be seen again, like something out of a movie.
It's incredible. It captured the public's imagination in a way few crimes do.
Yeah.
Cooper became almost a folk hero to some,
Yeah.
symbolizing this kind of rebellion.
Yeah.
He outfoxed the system. And even though the FBI did recover some of the money years later,
Right.
his identity and his fate are still totally shrouded in mystery.
Talk about a cold case that stays hot.
Yeah.
And just to add fuel to the fire, every now and then something new pops up.
Uh-huh.
Like recently a parachute strap was found
Oh, wow.
in a potential landing zone.
Really?
It keeps people guessing.
Yeah.
Was it really him?
Right.
Did he survive the jump?
Mhm.
And if so, where did he disappear to?
It speaks to the power of enduring mysteries.
Yeah.
Each new clue, no matter how small, reignites the debate.
Mm-hmm.
Will we ever definitively know what happened to D.B. Cooper?
Yeah.
It's a question that continues to fascinate people.
Now, from daring heists to something a bit more chilling, let's head to Circleville, Ohio, for the case of the Circleville letters.
Right.
This one's about a harassment campaign that went on for over a decade.
Wow.
Starting in 1976.
Okay.
Anonymous letters filled with threats, accusations, personal info,
Jeez.
sent to folks all over town. Yeah.
Imagine getting one of those in the mail.
What makes this case especially disturbing is how it escalated.
Yeah.
It went beyond just letters, with one of the individuals targeted ending up dead
Oh, wow.
in a suspicious car crash.
Jeez.
Then you have the conviction of a man for writing the letters.
Right.
But here's the twist. The letters kept coming, even while he was locked up.
Hold on. So they got the guy, but the letters kept coming.
I know.
Okay, now that's creepy. So who was really behind it all?
Yeah,
That's a question that seems to have no answer.
right.
And it makes you wonder about the motives. Was it revenge,
Right.
obsession, or something even darker?
It highlights that psychological element of these unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
The impact on the town, the feeling of being constantly watched,
Right.
the not knowing who to trust.
Mm-hmm.
It goes beyond just a whodunit.
Yeah.
It's about the lasting effects of fear and uncertainty.
Okay, so we've gone from frozen mountains to ghost ships to skydiving bandits to creepy letters.
Quite a range. What ties these cases together, besides being unsolved,
Yeah.
it's that lack of a definitive answer
Right.
that keeps us hooked, makes us analyze every detail,
Yeah.
and come up with our own theories.
And sometimes it's not even about finding the answer. It's
Right.
about the journey of exploration.
Yeah.
The human mind just can't resist a good puzzle,
Oh, no.
especially when the stakes feel this high.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick pause to gather our thoughts.
Okay.
We'll be back soon to delve into even more of these intriguing cases
Right.
and the questions they raise.
Looking forward to it.
All right, we're back. And, diving into these unsolved mysteries, you can't help but bump into the paranormal every now and then.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've talked disappearances.
Right.
But what about those events that just seem to, break the laws of nature?
That's where things get really fascinating.
Right.
It challenges our understanding of what's even possible.
Yeah.
And it forces us to kind of confront the limits of our knowledge.
Exactly. And Unsolved Mysteries definitely didn't shy away from those cases.
Oh, no, they embraced it.
Remember that episode about the blinking crucifix in Massachusetts?
Oh, yeah.
That always stuck with me.
Yeah.
A family claimed this crucifix in their home started blinking on its own. No explanation.
It really captured the public's imagination.
Yeah.
You had paranormal investigators, skeptics, everyone trying to figure out what was going on.
Right.
Was it a hoax? Was it some trick of the light? Or was it something genuinely supernatural?
And even though the episode presented a possible explanation,
Right.
an electrical engineer suggested that fluctuating voltage in the wiring could cause the blinking effect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people still believe something unexplained was happening.
Right. It's like even when you have a logical explanation,
Yeah.
the mystery can still hold this power over us.
Totally. It speaks to the human need for meaning.
Absolutely.
We want to believe there's more to the world than we can see or explain.
Mm-hmm.
And these paranormal cases offer a glimpse into that possibility.
Yeah, possibility. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got blinking crucifixes,
Right.
but then there are those mysteries that seem almost too perfect to be random,
No.
like crop circle.
Crop circles. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
those intricate patterns appearing in fields overnight. Remember when those were everywhere?
Oh, yeah. That was a phenomenon.
The Unsolved Mysteries episode on the UK crop circles really blew the lid off that phenomena.
I think so. They explored everything from whirlwinds to, of course, aliens.
Alien artists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wild theory.
It is.
But you have to admit those designs were crazy complex.
They were incredibly intricate.
It's hard to imagine how humans could pull that off
so
quickly and secretly.
Yeah, especially on such a massive scale.
Right. And while some crop circles have been debunked as hoaxes,
Of course.
others remain unexplained.
Yeah.
That element of the unknown keeps the debate alive.
For sure.
Could some of these formations be evidence of something we haven't figured out yet?
Right, or some technology, maybe?
Right. It's similar to those ancient mysteries like Stonehenge or the pyramids. We marvel at the ingenuity, but with crop circles, there's this added layer because they're appearing in our time.
It's current.
Right. It's like these mysteries are still unfolding.
This is like an ongoing mystery.
Yeah, and it plays on our fascination with the idea that there might be forces at work that we just don't understand, whether it's advanced technology, natural phenomena, or something else entirely.
I call it entirely.
Okay, now for a topic that's always sparked debate, reincarnation.
Okay.
Unsolved Mysteries had a few episodes that explored this,
Yep.
and one that really sticks out is the story of that young boy who claimed to remember a past life as a World War II pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That episode was really compelling.
He was.
The boy had detailed knowledge of aircraft and historical events that he couldn't have known in his current life.
Right.
They even contacted the family of the deceased pilot, and they corroborated many of his claims.
Yeah, you really have to wonder, how do you explain that kind of specific, verifiable information?
It's mind-boggling, right?
It is.
It challenges everything we think we know about consciousness and memory.
For sure.
And while reincarnation is still a very controversial topic,
Absolutely.
these stories offer a perspective that many people find both intriguing and comforting.
Right. They tap into our kind of fundamental questions about life and death.
Yeah.
About the nature of the self and the possibility that our existence extends beyond this one lifetime.
Now, we can't talk Unsolved Mysteries without mentioning the man himself, Robert Stack.
Oh, yeah.
His voice, the trench coat, that serious tone.
The look?
He was like the ultimate guide through these strange stories.
He really brought a sense of gravitas to the show.
Right.
He wasn't just presenting facts. He was drawing you into the mystery, making you feel like you were part of the investigation.
And that's what made Unsolved Mysteries so impactful.
Yeah.
It wasn't just entertainment.
Right.
It encouraged viewers to become armchair detectives, to think critically, to maybe even hold a piece of the puzzle themselves.
Absolutely. And it had real-world results.
Oh, yeah.
The show helped solve hundreds of cases, bringing closure to families and justice to victims. That's a powerful legacy.
Absolutely. And that legacy continues with the Netflix reboot.
Oh, yeah?
It's reignited interest in these cold cases and even led to some breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes beyond just solving crimes. It's about that human need to explore the unknown, to confront our fears, and to remember that there are still mysteries out there waiting to be uncovered.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but our listener sent in some specific cases that I think deserve a closer look.
Yeah.
And one that's always kind of haunted me is the disappearance of Maura Murray.
Oh, yeah. A case that's as perplexing as it is tragic. It really underscores how quickly someone can just vanish without a trace.
Right.
Even in the age of cell phones and social media.
Right. It was 2004 when Maura, a young nursing student, vanished after a car accident.
Right.
In rural New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Her car was found abandoned, but there was no sign of her.
And the details leading up to her disappearance are just strange.
They are.
Acting out of character, packing some belongings.
Yeah.
Even emailing her professors about a family emergency that didn't exist.
That lack of a clear motive or any solid leads has fueled so much speculation over the years.
Oh.
Did she stage her disappearance? Was she met with foul play? Or did something completely unexpected happen?
Right. It becomes a case where every possibility seems plausible.
Right.
But none fully explains everything.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it so captivating.
Yeah.
But also heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Despite searches, investigations, even dedicated online communities.
Right.
Trying to piece together clues.
Yeah.
Maura's fate is still unknown.
It's a reminder that sometimes, despite our best efforts, some mysteries just remain unsolved.
Yeah.
And for the families left behind, that lack of closure can be incredibly difficult.
All right, let's shift gears to a mystery with a bit more historical weight.
Okay.
The disappearance of Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart.
Talk about a woman who pushed boundaries.
A true pioneer of aviation.
Yeah.
Her attempt to circumnavigate the globe in 1937 captivated the world, and her disappearance over the Pacific Ocean became one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century.
It's a story that still fascinates people today.
Absolutely.
Imagine flying over the vast Pacific,
Right.
communication, limited navigation, far less precise than what we have now.
Yeah.
The risks were enormous.
Huge.
And then silence.
Yeah.
No trace of Earhart or her navigator, Fred Noonan, ever found.
It's led to countless theories, each with its supporters and detractors.
Oh, I'm sure.
Did they crash and sink? Did they land on a remote island and perish where they captured?
Right.
The possibilities are as vast as the ocean they were flying over.
And it's not just the circumstances, it's Earhart herself.
Right.
She was a symbol of courage, adventure, breaking barriers. So when someone like that vanishes,
Yeah.
it captures our imaginations.
It does?
Did she secretly return and live under an assumed identity? Right.
Was her disappearance more than just a tragic accident?
Yeah.
It's hard not to get drawn into the speculation.
Her story resonates because it embodies the spirit of exploration,
Yeah.
the allure of the unknown, and the reminder that even the most daring endeavors can have unpredictable outcomes.
Okay, from the air to the depths of space, our final mystery takes us out of this world.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, Signal.
This one's for our science and sci-fi fans out there.
All right.
In 1977, a radio telescope picked up a signal so strong and unique that it seemed like it could be a sign of extraterrestrial intelligence.
Oh,
And the astronomer who spotted it even wrote, "Wow," on the printout, hence the name.
I love that.
And here's the kicker. It lasted for 72 seconds and then vanished,
Really?
never to be heard again.
Wow.
Despite countless attempts to find it again,
Right.
the wow signal remains an anomaly.
It's a tantalizing clue,
Yeah.
but one that raises more questions than answers.
Right.
Was it a natural phenomenon we just don't understand yet?
Yeah.
Or was it a brief message from another civilization?
Yeah.
A whisper across the vastness of space that we were lucky enough to catch?
It really highlights how much we still don't know about the universe.
Absolutely.
You're constantly discovering new things, pushing the boundaries of our knowledge, and the wow signal is a reminder that there might be things out there far beyond our current comprehension.
It's both humbling and inspiring.
Yeah.
It encourages us to keep searching, keep asking questions, and to never lose our sense of wonder about the mysteries that still surround us.
So after this deep dive into unsolved mysteries, what have we learned?
What have you learned?
I think it shows that even with all of our technology and advancements, there are still things we can't fully explain.
Right.
These cases challenge us to think critically, to evaluate evidence, and to kind of embrace the unknown.
And they remind us that the pursuit of truth can be a long and winding road.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we find answers, sometimes we're left with more questions.
Yeah.
But the journey itself, that exploration of the unknown, is what makes these mysteries so captivating.
So if there's one thing to take away from this deep dive, it's this: stay curious.
Yes.
Keep exploring. You never know what mysteries you might uncover, what connections you might make, or what seemingly impossible truths you might find hidden just beneath the surface.
Keep questioning, keep searching, and never lose that spark of wonder. After all, it's the unanswered questions that keep us looking up at the stars, exploring the depths of the ocean, and searching for meaning in the world around us.
And who knows, maybe someday you'll be the one to solve one of these mysteries. Until then, happy sleuthing.